We're gonna find Henry and
Exactly.
we're gonna kill him because that's justice, don't you think? Don't you think that's just justice if we
Hmm.
find Henry?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Is
Yeah,
my
I
is,
can.
is my high school
I.
teacher a murderer?
Hey everyone, my name's Nick.
And I'm Ray. Today we're going to be talking about The Last of Us, episode 5. Finally getting some big zombies in and some big boys.
Yeah, and I'm super glad it wasn't overlooked because, there was actually an explanation for it where I was complaining, not really complaining. I noticed last episode, as I'm sure many did, that there was a big absence of zombies, and they were like, "Hey, have you noticed there's no zombies?" It's
Mhm.
like, "Oh, okay." So it wasn't just them overlooking it. It was planned, of course.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, we drove them underground. Okay. How? One,
Yep.
though, actually. How? How did you guys drive them underground? Actually, I want to know. That's kind of crazy. B,
Hmm.
did they have the chonkers prior, or did the chonkers, like, evolve from, like, four of them merging and, like, becoming the chonky boy? You know? Or is that just, like Brian Shaw and Eddie Hall as a zombie?
Exactly. Once you get a real big dude or big gal, whatever, once you get a real big person and they get infected, they're massive.
Honestly, I like, too, that this episode had the zombies and force
Yeah.
and it was nice to see that because like the zombies we've seen were slow and kind of just chilling for the most part, and these
Hmm.
guys were pissed, dude. These zombies were mad. They were like,
Yeah.
bro, you kept us underground, that's fucked up. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you know
Yeah. To start out with the beginning of the episode, though, I liked that they gave us a little bit of the background of like why Kansas City was able to overthrow. And I gotta tell you, it made me hate that woman so much more, as I'm sure was intended. It's like, yeah, I feel for her because her brother was totally thrown under the bus and ratted out and murdered.
yeah, snitches get
But
stitches.
yeah, but she's like, all right, you kill my brother, I'm gonna kill your brother. Even though he's deaf and had leukemia and is
8.
like 8. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
you chose this is what happens when you mess with
yeah.
fate, bitch. Who are you? Who
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah.
What are we
Yeah.
talking about right now? So yeah, it starts off. It's a nice little intro with Henry and Sam, showing the whole overthrow thing, right? It was interesting, and then definitely seeing the resistance rise up and just be
Mhm.
super savage to Fedra right back in the streets. Beating them, shooting them in the
Yep.
head, hitting them while they're down, and it's like, I get it, I do, but fuck, man.
I mean, that it's so funny though. That's like, to me that feels like a stereotypical revolution, right? It's
Yeah,
like they overthrew Fedra because Fedra was killing and torturing people without due process or anything like that.
yeah,
And they turn around and do the exact same thing. They round up all
yeah,
the informants, have them in a cell, tell them they're going to be okay if they just get it, and then he's like, "Are we really going to put them on trial? No, just kill them. It's way faster. Go burn their bodies
yeah,
afterwards. Come on."
yeah.
Like, gee, you guys did the exact same thing that you hated. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And
it
I think
wasn't good.
I think philosophically it's more apropos because I think that's what would happen 9 times out of 10 in real life. So I'm glad they did show it that way and not like, hey guys, we did it. Let's forgive them. Forgive the ones who raped us all. It's fine, you know. Also, still not a fan of the mass murder.
Right. And I
It's
mean,
hard
it's just
hard to balance.
yes. And I mean, it's just, showing they weren't really interested in making a better society. They just wanted revenge. This whole episode is surrounded by revenge. And then that woman, what's her name? Kathleen? Is
Yeah.
that her name?
Should be
So
Karen, but yes,
Carrie.
Kathleen.
Yeah, so I mean, her sole focus is revenge. And the only reason people follow her is because she made it happen the last time. They're like, hey, she was kind of the leading force on our revolution for Fedra. If she wants this guy Henry dead at all costs, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll do it. So,
Yeah.
she's got that simp leading her army. So
Yeah, poor guy, dude. Got his head legit ripped off.
that was funny. I
Yeah.
laughed.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there was he shot a couple bullets into him, nothing happened. Immediately head ripped off.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That honestly, so that second half of the episode, or not even half, that last quarter of that episode, I think, is where it's where I hyper focused on the most.
Mhm.
The first half slow, but it was getting slow. We needed something to speed up a little bit, and it was nice that we got it. The cool thing was, when Henry was like talking with Joel, he was like straight up, I can get you out of here. I need you to clear the way, though. And Joel's like,
Yeah.
okay. And the interaction between Ellie and him, she's like, no, it's fine. You guys can come with
Yeah.
us to Wyoming. And Joel's like, no. And she's like, that means yes. Just give him some time. That means yes. We'll just bother him more
Like,
about it.
I'll just keep asking, and eventually he'll
Yeah.
cave. Like,
Yeah.
that was funny. And then it's cool, and yeah, the beginning was a little boring, I guess, right? They're setting up the second half to like last quarter of the episode.
Yeah.
So just some things that I thought were cool, like Henry and Sam were in that attic space for maybe 10 days to 14 days, right? Depending on how long they were going without food. It was cool seeing them go down, and it's like, oh yeah, cool. They watched the entire thing, and that's why they followed.
Yeah. They needed help. And
Yeah.
look, there's your help. Came in on a truck.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I was expecting, like, the entire time they were in the tunnels too, I was just waiting for like jump scares. I was like, oh man, there's something's gonna pop out, something's gonna happen. And then they got through the whole tunnel, nothing happened. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that was it. that was all that happened.
I also love how Joel addressed it when they go into the tunnel, and he's like, "See, it's safe here." And Joel's like, "Dude, we've been here for 2 fucking seconds. What do you mean? Shut
That
up."
was funny.
Like,
Yeah.
I love the fact that that was addressed, because you see that in movies all the time, and you're like, "Shut up." Like, come on, be smart. Even if it looks safe, you got to be smart about it, right? And then at the end of the episode, though, in the fighting sequence, I did get annoyed, though, because they're just sitting there watching. Oh, the cars are coming. The cars are coming.
Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
was
just
stupid.
stand here. Start running. Go immediately.
Yep.
Here, run. What do you
And
think
then
he's
the-
saying? What do you think he means? What do you think he means by that?
Yeah.
You know?
Run!
Yeah. When you hear a
What did
command,
he say?
when you
The
hear a
shooting
command,
stopped?
execute it. You know?
The shooting stopped and he's yelling at us. What is he saying?
Yeah.
And then the deaf kid's the one who sees it. Like, they didn't hear those big old trucks just
Apparently,
plowing
everyone's
through.
just deaf in the show, man.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
But it was super cool. Joel got the headshot through the window. I've done that in Call of Duty. And then good old somehow basement, maybe there's a basement in that house that the truck fell through, or
Oh,
the
well,
ground swallowed up.
Yeah, I think it was just a sinkhole, right? Similar to the collapsed floor that we saw in that building last episode. I'm sure it was the same here, where you have this horde living underneath the ground. And I don't understand why there's a sinkhole. Are they trying to break out of those tunnels?
I
and
feel like
just
they're
climbing
digging
up?
out, dude.
Yeah. So, yeah, that truck goes through the building, just so happens to hit the sinkhole, give that last little push that the infected need, and man, when they started flowing out of there, that was pretty sick.
Yeah.
it would look pretty crazy.
Yeah, and they were fast, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, also I want to point out Fetcher's dumb as fuck for that. They put them underground, dude. They're fungus. They grow in the ground. I'm sure fungus could figure out how to dig out of the ground if you're in this kind of an environment, you know?
Yeah, but it sounded like, that's Henry said that's the one good thing that they had done is they drove them underground 10 years prior to that, and then for the last like 3 years apparently they had driven them out of the tunnels and out of the city. Now, how that happened, I don't know. And why are they all congregating, and why are they doing that? Like, obviously it didn't work out long term, but if Fedra hadn't been overthrown, maybe they would have been prepared for it, It's just
Yeah, probably
an
would have been
avalanche.
fine.
Yeah, just an avalanche of like bad decisions and choices happening.
Yeah, I would say more unlucky than anything. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's like resistance stands up. Ooh, we got it, right? And then all of a sudden, all of them are out with your entire military out of position in a not defensive spot, and you're surprised, taken by surprise, and you're just like, oh my god.
Mhm.
Wasn't expecting this one. But it's a good thing it happened, or else Joel and Ellie and them wouldn't have escaped. Which fucking crack shot Joel up in that tower, man.
Yeah, for real. He had the extended mag perk. No reloads going on, headshots everywhere. Dude,
Yeah.
he all of a sudden he was missing that truck that was going like straight, but man, he got it.
Yeah,
Once all
he
the
got his
zombies
contacts
started.
in. Yeah.
Yeah. Once all the fast moving running zombies came out, then headshot after headshot,
Mm-hmm.
he's good. And I thought it was funny too,
Oh.
Ellie running around. First off, good idea, right? She saw the open window. She's like, I can fit through that. Perfect. Gets in there. Awesome idea. Unlucky that there's this little gymnastic girl that can just fly through everything.
Step
But
one, Ellie. Good job. Got in the car. Step two, close the window.
yeah. I thought it was
Real
funny
thing.
though when she's going around with that little buck knife, stabbing him in the neck. One stab, done.
Yeah.
Like twice.
She hit
That's
the
all it took.
jugular, man. She hit the jugular.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess
This
so.
fungus still needs blood, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the body still needs to circulate, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know the biology of these, actually. But I will say, the only other thing I really liked from that little sequence of events was when Joel was like, I'm going to go up behind the tower, right? And, you know, get up there. They're like, he's going to kill you, blah, 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 or whatever. And Joel's like, it's dark and he has shit aim. I'll be fine. You know?
Yeah,
Because that dude was
very
missing.
confident.
Yeah. But then the ending there where Ellie was like, hey, I got magic blood. I'm the cure. Like, let me fix you. They tried it. Dude, I was thinking it was going to help. It didn't.
Yeah. No, I wasn't thinking it was gonna help.
I mean, it makes sense that it didn't. She probably should have done a full blood transfusion with him if she wanted to save him. But
Yeah,
like
exactly.
rubbing a little bit of blood on him ain't gonna do anything. But
She was acting like it was magic, like she's doing blood magic. Let me rub your
Yeah.
wound. But yeah, it was a really sad ending, man. I thought with how, it was, I should have expected it. I guess that it was going to be the kid, right? With how Ellie and that kid are just bonding so much and they were having such a good time, like they were actually being friends, they're opening up to each other. But whenever they were in that hotel room at the end and Henry and Joel are talking, with how Henry was talking, I was like, oh, Henry got bit and he's gonna go kill himself after this, because he was talking like, take care of him, like, you gotta do this, you gotta make sure this is all, he was talking like this is the end for him.
yeah.
No, then the Sam got bit and it was pretty sad.
Yeah,
Couldn't-
that whole
couldn't escape
sequence
fate.
too, where Joel's just like, just give me the gun. Like, he's like, what did I do?
Yeah.
It's like, well, the right thing. You did the right thing. It sucks,
Mhm.
but like, give me the gun, and then just, I was like, oh shit. And Ellie's like watching it, and then burying the body. She just dropped his shit and was like, come on, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
let's go. And it's like,
And it's
oof.
got I'm sorry written on it. So Joel realizes, look, she knew, she must have tried something, because why would you be sorry if that happened? Like, it's not your fault. Yeah.
Also, her blood is the cure, is the key, and can fix
Mhm.
this. And now she's like, I need to get there. Like, every moment we're
Yeah.
not there, that we can't work on this, people are dying like this. So it is my fault, which it's not her fault. But, you would internalize that. I would internalize that. If I had the magic blood for cancer and I'm like, yeah, I'll get there. It's going to be a month, or two. Every person that I hear dies of it, I'm going to be like, I'm trying to get there, guys. I swear.
This was I really enjoyed this episode, even though the beginning of it was boring. Well, there was a lot of like just setup for
Yeah.
that latter half. I really enjoyed this one. I think this is my favorite episode so far, I think. So
Yeah, this was a great episode. I just didn't like the villain. I really didn't. But I mean, like, I liked the fact that I didn't like her, but I also just didn't like the acting of the
Yeah.
villain. That's the first weak point I've seen. I don't think it was bad, but like it didn't feel as fluid as the others.
yeah,
you know?
I found it more comical because she's like this kind of soft-spoken woman. Like it was just funny hearing like her talk tough to people with her like high voice, just kind of not really saying. It just sounded funny to me whenever I was listening to it.
Hey
I can
guys,
see what
we're
you're
gonna
saying.
find Henry. We're gonna
Yeah.
find Henry. And
Exactly.
we're gonna kill him because that's justice, don't you think? Don't you think that's just justice if we find Henry?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I can.
Is my high school teacher a murderer?
I could see how you could find that annoying. I just found it funny because
Yeah.
it's like that she seems like a very unlikely murderer. Like
Yeah, that's like she's like bubbly and shit. Like
Mhm.
I don't know if she is or not, but like that's her face. But yeah, no, overall it's a really good episode, and I'm glad we got the payoff it did. You know, the underground tunnels coming up was kind of in the perfect spot at the perfect time, which would you would definitely call a Deus Ex Machina, I believe. However, stories need that. Like, honestly, stories need it. So
Yeah, I don't think it was too much of that. I think maybe if we saw rather than just one sinkhole in if they showed like a couple buildings, like, ooh, this one has a sinkhole. Ooh, there's another one. Like, oh, there's some soft spots here. Because what I got the vibe from in episode 4 was like, oh, there's some like big ass monster.
that's what I thought
And
too.
I wasn't thinking like a 6'5", 7 foot hulking
I
guy.
was thinking like
I
a
was
40-foot like
yeah,
fucking rhinoceros.
exactly. And I'm glad it wasn't that. I think I liked the big horde coming out too, and then there's just one like pretty big dude that's super armored up. That was cooler in my opinion. I liked that. But I think if we would have seen more sinkholes, it would have cemented that a little bit better, and it wouldn't have felt so like, oh, this is exactly what they needed to save them. Like, just
I
so
think
happened to be here.
I do think they did a proper amount of background placement for all that stuff. Like, I'm not shitting on it in that regard, but yeah, it is a Deus Ex Machina regardless, and that's fine. That is completely fine. Either way, the moral of the story is don't go up against that big dude. Don't. Unless you got a Barrett 50 cal or higher. You need a 50 caliber or higher for that dude. Like, straight up. Or maybe a 12 gauge to the face buckshot might work. I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
That dude was big. He took 2 full clips to his chest, and he didn't even go, you know?
Yeah, not
He
even
just
a
was
little
like,
bit of a
he was just walking, and he was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You throwing shit at me? What's going on? You know? It's like an airsoft gun.
And he wasn't trying to infect people either. He's like killing. He said, I don't want to bite you and make you another one. No, I'm gonna rip your head off and you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
But yeah, all in all, great episode. Keep it up. I don't know what's coming up in this next episode. How do they get to Wyoming? They're pretty far from Wyoming. So do they get horses, a truck, a tank, a plane?
Yeah. This is the first time I realized that they actually do a preview for the next episode after the credits roll. I did not know that. So
I didn't see that.
yeah, yes, they do get horses.
Oh, they do?
They do. They ride in, and this is what the preview showed, right? Was them rolling up into a town in, I'm assuming, Wyoming, and they find Joel's brother. Joel's brother's there in town.
Okay.
So they meet up with the brother, but there's some other lady, like Rima worm-tonguing, like just whispering into Ellie's ear, be careful who you trust. Because Joel and his brother have this very dark past. So
I think you can trust Joel at this point. I think so.
yeah, but I think it's gonna come out in this next episode. From what I saw in the preview, it's gonna come out like just how dark they went, because it sounded like him, his brother, and Tess, like they were straight up murdering people.
Do we think Joel ate man flesh?
Oh, I don't know if he went full cannibal, but from the vibes I was getting from the conversation with his brother,
I forgive Joel so long as it's not 3 things: man flesh eating,
okay,
raping,
okay,
and it's pretty much it.
get it? Yeah. So
No.
2 things.
Those 2
Killing
things.
kids.
Like, okay, well, yeah, but I mean, infected kids.
Right, that's why I'm just saying kids in
So
general.
innocent kids. Okay, yeah.
With his past, I don't think he would ever be able to do that.
Yeah, I don't think you kill a kid. So that's the 3rd thing: no killing innocent kids that aren't infected.
Yeah,
2 bylaws with it.
for sure.
Aside from that, dude, it's the apocalypse. I get it. Okay. Anyways, great episode. Ray, out.
Thanks for watching. Hey, Nick here. If you enjoyed this video, please gently caress that like button for us.
And Ray, thanks for watching. It was a blast. Make sure to hit that subscribe if you want to stay up to date with what we're doing, what me and him are doing. There. Me and him, Nick and Ray. Subscribe.